Good afternoon, everyone. My presentation will be more focused on the use case rather than on the technological part of the application development. Uh, in India, the police department and many other government departments, they rarely use GIS. But now the things have started, but the police department is still lagging behind, and very few cities in India, like metros, Bangalore, Chennai, Mumbai, Hyderabad, New Delhi, Pune, and few more, they are using the GIS for crime mapping and analysis to a very limited extent. So this thing is this keeping this background in mind, this work was started or proposed. Sorry. Right now, presently, we are having two systems for the data collection of the crime data collection. One is called Crime and Criminal Tracking Network System, CCTNS. So all the police stations, they enter the data on a platform, it reaches to a centralized database, and from there they generate different kind of reports in the form of PDF and Excel. But as far as the spatial analysis is concerned, it is again very limited. So the coordinates are there, the details of the crimes are there, but the the right use of that information in context of GIS is not there at all. Another is dial 100 service. So it's a really wonderful service. Police vehicles are moving around in the city, and whenever number 100 is dialed from any phone, mobile or landline phone, the location of that phone is identified and the nearby vehicle reaches to that place, and they have got the tablets with them. So they fetch the coordinate of that place where the incidents happened, and the report is coming from the place. The coordinates are recorded, and other details related to that particular crime incident, that is also recorded. This data is also available through the portal, but now again the absence of analytical and uh, capabilities and web-based portal or dashboards are not there. So they just download it at their end and do some minimum kind of processing at their end. Now this dial 100 has changed to dial 112. Indore is the largest city of Madhya Pradesh. Uh, Again, it's a major educational hub and commercial hub. So naturally, the crime rates are relatively higher because of the higher density of population. And it has got 32 police station jurisdictions, and area is about 500 square kilometers. While interacting with the police department, I could find out some common things which they very often require. One of them is the showing the Thana boundaries on the map. The first thing which comes to their mind is that they want a map on which they can delineate or can display the jurisdictions of every police station. But having such kind of maps has got no meaning. Then road network is another thing which they require, because for traffic management and many a times the events like Sinha's Fair, which is going to happen in 2028 in Ujjain, so that the preparation has started right now. So they are approaching us for preparing the maps, road maps, and pointing the strategic locations on the maps to regulate the heavy traffic that will come in that area. But still, they are not having the digital maps. But the requirement is that, so we are helping them to do that. Then heat map for identifying the crime locations and zones of the crimes with respect to time and other parameters. So, and FIR data is available. So that is mostly done for the manual processing and interpretation using Excel sheets. Coordinates are there in the FIR, which is recorded at the police station. But again, there is no system available for the interactive visualization, spatial querying, and analytical crime mapping. So what is existing and what is commonly required, these two things were in my mind. Sometimes during past 5 to 10 years, we helped the police department for creating the static maps, not the dynamic one, because it was very difficult for me to convince them that if you put your data on dynamic maps and have an interactive platform, then your efficiency will increase and it will help you a lot. So how it all started? There's a story behind that, very small story. One inspector of police contacted me last year, sometimes before FOSS4G, Bangkok. Uh, and he got my number from somewhere. He was searching somebody using GIS who can help them creating the Thana boundary maps. So somehow he got my contact, he contacted me. I said, okay, come, we'll just sit together and see what we can do. The fellow came with a laptop, and for me in India, a policeman using a laptop was a surprise for me. Anyway, I welcomed him and I asked him just what is the requirement. He said, sir, I'm preparing Thana maps and I'm facing some problems in printing the funnel maps. So for that I have come. I thought that this fellow might have used Google Earth or something like that to delineate the boundaries. Then he opened his laptop. Okay, show me what you have done and what exactly you want from us. So he opened his laptop and opened QGIS. That was another shock for me. And at that very moment, I decided I'm going to help them for whatever they are doing. So anyway, so he digitized the boundaries from Google Earth and created the maps in QGIS, and he was having some problem with the composition of map in QGIS. Then I asked some of my students to go to him, and he was helped, and he was happy with that. But at this point, I just mentioned him that just creating the static maps will make no sense. This fellow was having some background because he himself learned QGIS and tried because he was ordered by some higher authorities to do this. So he was an enthusiastic fellow. So he just worked on it and explored and created the maps. Then I suggested him that if you put the crime data on this map, then it will start telling stories. You can make sense out of it. Then he could not visualize what I was talking about. Then I told him that, okay, if you can share some crime data with me, or just random data if you can give. So he gave me the actual crime data, some 100 and 200 points he gave me. All with all the details of the crime. And I just quickly developed a web application using GeoServer and OpenLayers. And I showed him, and he was very happy. Then he said, okay, we can go to the police commissioner and we can demonstrate. We went to the police commissioner, demonstrated him, and he very quickly, immediately accepted the idea and liked the idea and just so the things were formulated and a proper proposal was made and it was given to the police commissioner. Santosh Kumar Singh is still here, there in Indore, and he could understand the things, he could visualize it, what exactly it is. So in the very first meeting, he just instructed his staff members to provide all kind of data, support, computers and everything. So that was given to us, and we could start developing the project using the open source tools. So this is the motivation behind that, because I was already trying to do something for Indore police, but many times I approached with the ideas. They could not understand what exactly is going to happen. But when they started the things from their own end, then it worked out and immediately we did something. So we planned it out, of course, using the open source tools. So all data processing, because we did in QGIS, had our data in Postgres, published the things in GeoServer, and the application was done using open layers. So the work was not very straightforward because from government departments do collect data, but there are issues with that. The consistency is not there, and so many other issues are there. So the crime data collection from the FIR records and the dial 100 calls that was made available to us, we just processed it with the help of some persons from the police department, and even my students also helped me for that. And then we did the validation, verification, then stored everything in PostgreSQL, and then some kind of cleaning up and the geometry cleaning up and those kind of things were required. Then entire thing was published using GeoServer, and then interactive web map was developed using JavaScript and open layers. So, and they are using it for the patrol planning and resource deployment and crime prevention, making crime prevention strategies. How this system was developed? So it was a collaborative approach. Uh, I come from Government Holker Science College. I'm a faculty of geology there. Of course, I teach geology, but I'm deeply involved in geospatial development since last more than 25 years. So I involved my postgraduate students, and they just contributed to data design, digitization, administrative boundary creation, interface development, and testing, of course. That was the biggest part. And the police officials, they provide the various insights, validated spatial data, and other kind of things they did. So this collaborative effort ensured that the platform was technically robust, operational, relevant, and user-friendly. Because we are continuously interacting with them, and as per their need, we are changing them and fine-tuning the things. What this application does. So it provides the data for 17 crime categories like crime against women, assault, road accident, and so many more. Then the organization of the police is that they have got 32 thanas. They are grouped into subzones, and subzones are again grouped into so zone to subzone and subzone to thana. Like that, so it is there. So in database, those arrangements were made so that we can query the data zone-wise, subzone-wise, thana-wise. It is possible. Then time-wise filter, spatial and temporal filtering is there. Heat map generation, that is a very important thing, that is there. Crime hotspot identification. Buffer analysis, many times they want to know around one particular point, what is the concentration of crime, or one particular crime is concentrated in which area. So they can just click on one point and immediately a buffer of 1 kilometer or 2 kilometer, whatever the distance the user has selected, it will be created and the number of crimes will be given. Similarly, it also generates a buffer along the road and gives the graduated map kind of thing, so that you know which road is having the darker colors, that the crime rates are high. Then report generation analysis is there, graphs and pie charts can be generated. And another interesting thing is that police has got CCTV cameras across the roads, and citizen eye cameras are also there. The camera which are there in the homes and in the shops, through one app, they register for the citizen eye camera. So whenever the record of that camera is needed, the police department approaches to that person, and that person shares the data. So then how to relate it? Again, these things were mapped. So once you click on any road on the map, all the cameras, CCTV camera and citizen eye camera, immediately falling within the buffer of 200 meters are highlighted. So it helps them for the crime analysis. And patrol planning, of course, the heat maps and this crime density maps help in that. So this is a typical web interface. So on the left hand side, we have got the different kind of maps available: Google, OpenStreet, Google Satellite, and the crime location, listed, the location of listed criminals, the location of the surveillance criminals, that is also there, and the options for heat map generations are there. And then we can have charts, summary, report, graduated color maps can be generated, 3 classes, 4 classes, 5 classes using the, and then in advanced filterings, we have the options to filter based on the type of crime, the sections, different kind of sections are there. Using that, they can just filter the things and can immediately see the result on the map. And buffer analysis, as I told you, if you click on a point, it will create a buffer. The road intersections are always important from the crime point of view. So the road intersections, immediately they can see how many number of crimes are occurring along the road junctions, and accordingly it highlights the road junctions using the colors depending on the number of crimes associated with that particular circle. Then dial 100 data is also there, and we can just browse and can generate a heat map through a slider, the dial 100 data. And here on the right hand side, we can filter the things from a drop down. We can select the zone, so it will zoom to that particular zone or to that particular thana, and the map will be generated. This is another screenshot showing the generation of the heat map. You can see the slider is there. Using this slider, I can just go to, right now we are having a data for dial 100 from year 2021 to 25. Because data cleaning was a very hectic process. A lot of issues were there in data. Although relatively the dial 100 data is much better, not much cleaning was required for that. But FIR data was really a troublesome thing. So we are having, so different crime type categories can be selected from here, and immediately we have the heat map for that, and even the clustered map is also possible to get. So what kind of challenges we faced? So as I told you, the data consistency is the biggest issue arising from mixed manual and digital workflow. So that transition is still going on, that's why the problems are there. So as a person from geospatial field or helping the people from making the use of IT, we are thinking how we can just overcome these kind of problems, because the literacy issue is also there. Another issue is inaccurate or incomplete entry of latitude, longitude, because common man does not understand latitude, longitude. Many times we saw the maps, we plotted the data in QGIS, we found that the points are falling in one line, which is not possible. So because they ignored the digits after second, they use only 2 digits after the decimal. So that data was all falling in one place. So that understanding is not there, because the entry is done at a very, the person at the lowest level in the Thana. And the lack of standardization, uniform data entry and mechanism across police units, because different Thanas use the different kind of terminology even for selecting the sections. So that was the biggest headache for us. A lot of time was required for that. So FIR data we could use only for the year 2024. 25 data is still being processed, and previous year data is there, but we cannot dare to use it because a lot of problems are there. So we are just trying to explore that how automated solutions can be used to do it. But for future, we have suggested them, why don't you come up with a web portal where the uniform kind of entry is made, and data seamlessly and very easily goes into our database. So the time and effort which we are doing for cleaning up the data and correcting the things, that can be saved. And we think of integration of machine learning models, random forest, gradient boosting for pattern and for crime prediction and things like that. And ultimately we wish to take it up to that AI-driven GIS, Web-GIS platform. But once the data of sufficient years, at least 5-10 years data is with us, only then we can address this particular issue. So all this is happening, The portal is available. It was started in March 2025, and since that it is available as a prototype. The access is given to few officials of the Indore police, but because of this activity, uh, they started using the application. They started creating the heat zone maps of the crime area and just planned their patrolling and other thing, because time based and everything is possible through that portal. And one of the most positive outcome is that people started using QGIS. Even in my I trained some 3 or 4 young police officers. They are using QGIS because our portal has got limited capabilities, because they have now they are having the different kind of requirements. So the question is coming to their mind and instantly they are getting the answer. So they have the data, they have the tool, but they don't know how to use it. So we just trained them and just helped them out. So they really very enthusiastically accepted it and they are still using it. So so that is another big success, I will say, that the police department of Indore has started using QGIS, not a ready-made user-friendly portal, because the officers are using that, but the staff at the lower level who are creating the data, they are creating heat map and different kind of things, even the road map for Singhas Mela and all those kind of things they started doing. Of course, we are helping them, but still it has started. And in their training school, they have incorporated the use of QGIS uh, as a module for the training to the trainees of the different levels. Even before coming to this conference, just 2 weeks ago, I conducted 2 days workshop for them. Just they were not knowing anything about GIS, but now many of them took interest and they were having the data, so they just took an interest that how to take this Excel file to a map and things like that. So overall the system demonstrates the practical use of GIS and Web-GIS in modern policing and lays a strong foundation for future AI-driven crime analysis. And I can conclude it like it demonstrates practical use of GIS in policing, bridges gap between data collection and analysis, strengthens proactive and technology-driven policing, provide foundation for AI-based crime analysis, and it is sustainable and scalable model, can be used for any other Indian city also. So that's all from my side. Thank you. So, any questions?
Thank you, sir, for this wonderful work presentation. My submission, I mean, as a future direction, you may include the NLP part also. Because most of the people who are at lower level, they do not understand the technical jargon.
Yes,
So
yes.
if you provide the natural language processing in this module,
Yes,
then
yes,
it will be a
yes.
further value addition. This is what I want to give the
Yes, yes,
suggestion.
yes. A very good
Thank you.
suggestion. We'll just.
Any more questions? Sir, I have one question. What problem did you face? So when you said that data collection was a problem, I mean data was scattered and you had to aggregate to a format which is codable. So what kind of, can you give an example of what, how did the data look like and what problem did you face?
Uh, Data has got some crime number they generate. There's no issue with that. Thana ID is there, from Thana, which Thana it is coming. Then crime head is there, like crime against women, assault, accident, uh, drug related crimes and so many others. Till that point it is okay. Then crime section is there. Say IPC 304 or something like that. So when they type the numbers and subsections, somewhere somebody will type in a small case, somebody will use dash, somebody will use spaces, extra spaces, things like that. So those kind of things are there. So that inconsistency in data is there. So that we try to solve using the Excel automation and things like that. But still, some of the things are still left. So what we are trying to make is that the data when it is entered, it should be correct at that point itself. So that extra effort of correcting the data is reduced. And then another is the coordinate. Coordinates are there, sometimes they will write the longitude in place of latitude and vice versa. Sometimes they join the things. In the same column they do both the entries. So when you import the data in database, then the problems will come. And again, they will use only the 2 digits after decimal. So that makes no sense. So those kind of issues are there. Not very big problems. But to start a system, we had a lot of issues in correction and understanding the things. Now we are working on it, that we have suggested them that you come up with a portal which will collect the data at Thana level itself. So they will select the things from the drop-down box. So no errors will be there. But as far as the coordinate is concerned, again there may be problems. So for that we are also trying to see that we'll limit that if they are entering in the data from one particular Thana, then the coordinates will not go beyond that. It can check and think. So those we are thinking that how we can just address those problems and can make the data entry correct.
Yeah, sir, very useful project. I think at all police station levels, we need to have both capacity building as well as a project like this. My question is, how do you deal with the hosting and the security? Because
Oh yeah,
that is an important aspect.
good question. So as far as the hosting is concerned, as I told you that it's still in pilot mode. We have set up a physical server in a police control room. So they have provided us a faster machine, and it's not a server machine right now. But in future, we'll just have a dedicated server and put the firewalls and everything. And even we have not taken a domain name for this. We are just using an IP address, and a web page has been created. From there, the user will do the login, and then it hit to that particular IP address, and this interface which we saw will open. So it is, the access is right now to only 25 people.
Anybody else?
Yes, please use mic.
Do you have plan to propagate this, to use this tool to entire state as well as to entire nation? Any plan such?
I don't know, because I told you that I have been in contact with police departments since last 7 to 8 years and helped them in creating various kind of data. So that acceptance is an issue, that understanding that it starts from a higher level. So fortunately, the Indore police has accepted it, and once we are able to demonstrate it after running it for at least 1 or 2 years, so smooth data entry and the use of that data for decision making, if that happens in a very systematic way, it shows some impact on the policing. Only then I think it can be, and because it's an effort at an institute level and the departmental level. So taking it to a state level, I don't know how it will take shape. But we are open to that. We are open to that, and but still till now there is no such plan. But in future something of that sort comes, we will think of how to address it. Basically what I am doing here in this, my focus is mainly, besides creating this platform, the focus is to train the personnel to do the things at their own end. So if that power comes, then their dependency is not there. No, otherwise what happens now? Some software company will come, they will suggest some solution, and they will run it for 2-3 years, then their agreement will go, and then everything will collapse. So the having understanding of data and tool, if the police department personnel has that strength, then it can survive and it can grow, keep on going there. Even the Indore police is using some at a small level, some IT people are there now in policing, IPS officers are there. So many times they use Python for heat map generation and that. So off and on these kind of newspaper reports we read. So because of that, I think it could took a shape and maybe, yeah, okay.
Okay, great. If we don't have any questions, we can wrap up. Again, thank you so much, sir, for your talk.
Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you for questions. Thank you.